Hey, what's up everybody? Today we're going to talk about how much a screen and porch costs and how much you should budget for one. So here at Battlefield Decks and Patios, we get a lot of requests asking exactly how much a porch is going to cost. A lot of times we'll be posting content and pictures and videos of porches online, and people will actually comment and say, how much did that cost? How much did this cost? Now, we don't typically respond to those with a number because it would be kind of rude to the people that are our customers that actually see their stuff get posted online to see that we're telling people what they spent on their project. But we have developed a really awesome tool for you to get a budget on a porch really quickly. So, before we get into all this, if you'd like to try using that tool, we have a calculator on our website. You can check it out in the link below at battlefielddecks.com, and you can start to input some information, size, dimensions of the porch you're looking for, and get a price right away. So give it a shot. So how much does a porch cost is a big question. Now, what I would say up front is for us here in the Northern Virginia area, just outside of DC, the average cost. So keep in mind, this is the average cost, right? When we think of a really high price or a really low price, the average cost that we see on a screen and porch is somewhere right around $50,000 to $55,000. Now, there's a lot of variables that go into that because we do screen and porches that are actually much cheaper than that. But the things that you got to consider that really drive the price on the cost of a screen and porch are a few things. One, the size of the screen and porch. And this would be the same for an open porch as well if you don't want screening. You just want something that's open and has posts and so forth. But the size is a big determining factor. There's baseline square footage prices for building these things. And so, if you're doing a 12 by 12 small screen and porch or porch on the back of your house or townhome, that's going to be much cheaper than on some of the really large houses that we build porches on, where they can be, as big as, an addition on the house, 20 feet off the house and sometimes, 40 feet wide or even further off the house. So great swing in price when it comes to the size of the porch. The other main factor is going to be whether you're doing a traditional wood porch. That means the decking, the rails, all the posts, everything is just pressure treated lumber, no frills, nothing really special about it, just utility only. I just want something I can go out on the back of my house and sit in and not have the bugs bother me, right? That is going to be significantly cheaper than if you do a composite PVC decking porch with vinyl or aluminum rails or composite rails, and then wrap all of your pressure treated lumber with a bunch of expensive PVC trim or composite cladding or stone or whatever you decide you want the finish to be. That alone right there, going from a traditional wood porch to a composite PVC one, there is a very huge swing in price in just those materials alone. Another factor would also be, what are the type of upgrades that you want inside your porch? Here in Northern Virginia, we see a lot of people putting fireplaces in their porches. They're doing really beautiful hardwood ceilings in their porches that have really nice stains. We're doing all sorts of really cool stuff like putting heaters in the ceiling, recessed lights, ceiling fans, motorized screens. There's just so many options when it comes to upgrades to a porch that they can get quite expensive. And so what I would say is, if you're looking to get an accurate price on a porch, first make sure you get a really good contractor. Make sure they're verified. Look at their Google reviews, that they have great reviews. Just schedule a bunch of estimates, maybe 3 estimates with several contractors, and compare their pricing. Look at their contracts and make sure they're very detailed and they're all kind of saying the same thing. The hard part for most customers is when they do that kind of process of, comparing bids, they're not apples to apples. Sometimes they're missing details and things like that. So super important to make sure everybody's on the same page. If you have building plans already, that's even better, because then that if somebody's giving you a bid, you can be like, look, this is what we're building here and these are all the finishes that I'm using. So, compare those, talk to the contractors, see what the difference is in the prices, and then go with the person that you think is the most reliable, that is actually going to perform well for you. And so lastly, what I would say is, once you've done that whole process, you want to make sure that investment-wise it makes sense for you. When it comes to spending lots of money on the screen and porch, most of the times people are planning on being in their houses for a really long time. This is their forever home, and this is an investment into something that they want to love and enjoy. I would say if you're not going to be there for more, if you live in an area like ours where there's a lot of government employees and people are moving in and out a lot, you're only going to be there for 5 years. I probably wouldn't recommend investing into spending a lot of money on a porch unless you just have a lot of money and you just want what you want. If you're not going to be there long, a traditional wood porch would be totally fine, if you're only going to be there for 5 years. And I would never look at a screen and porch as, what is the ROI on that? If I sell my house, what is it going to add to value? Really, when it comes down to screen and porches, decks, patios, things of that nature of outdoor living, that is very subjective, and it's hard to kind of put a dollar value on that over time because there are maintenance issues with all these sorts of products, and they're very personalized. These are very customized things that people have built for their personal desire. So when it comes to that sort of stuff, you want to make sure that you understand that you're buying something that you want, that you like. It's kind of like buying a nice pair of sneakers. You know that you could go get a cheap pair from Walmart, but you want some nice Nikes, right? So keep that in mind when you're thinking about budget. There's a cost at every step of the way when it comes to pricing at a point that can take the price anywhere from $30,000, and we build porches all the way up to $250,000 on some of these things. So a lot to consider there, but the first step for you would be to get with a quality contractor and start getting some estimates. And you can get a really good price budget really quick with our calculator below. Give it a shot. Tell us what you think.